Hey viewers, welcome to another game of Casual Pro Gamer. Today we are once again doing a StarCraft 2 match between, in this case, EmpireKas and TSLSymbol. Obviously a Terran versus Zerg or Zerg versus Terran, whichever way you look at it. And we are starting off with the production tab, and we're going to see some work has been created, obviously. And yeah, the big question is, will the Zerg fast expand before he scouts, or will he wait until he actually can scout and go for the safe route of building the spawning pool first? That is of course always the big question. The Terran player going to wall off his base here, going to make sure that because he's not scouting yet, he can actually he can at least wall off if he wants to. Not sure yet whether he is going to complete that wall off, of course, but it is an excellent way to stop the Zerglings from running in if there is a fast fast spawning pool. So lots of drones being created here, and let's see. Yeah, he will actually be a little bit ahead of the Terran player here, because he can produce a little bit quicker with his larva. And yeah, that's going to be well, the advantage he has here is going to be reduced once units start showing up, because to produce units obviously you have to sacrifice your ability to build drones, because you can spend your Livi only in one way and you have to choose. So yeah, he is going to fast expand before he gets up a spawning pool. There is no spawning pool yet. On the other side of the map there is a barracks coming up. The Terran player, the Zerg player pretty much knows that the chances of the Terran, attacking him really early on are just really small. So unless the Terran actually builds two barracks over here, or somewhere, I don't know where I am on the map, but it doesn't matter, somewhere close to his base, yeah, otherwise it is pretty safe to to do this, because yeah, as you can see, this Marine is going to have a long journey ahead before he can actually do anything. And he is going to find this Overlord, and this Overlord is going to go down before it scouts the main base, maybe even before it scouts the expansion. And he is going to create a second Marine. That was what I was looking for. Maybe, yeah, he's just going to park the Overlord over there, and the Marine will not be able to see it. So he will have to float something up there, in so either a building or have a flying unit in order to destroy it. And there goes the barracks. The barracks is going to spot for them, and is going to see what's going on with this Overlord. Overlord's almost dead, so he is going to attempt to snipe it with his two Marines, one going top, one going bottom. And that is of course good enough to get the snipe on that. He wants to just kill the Overlord before it can see whatever is in his base. And yeah, obviously there is a barracks in his base. Wow, he saw that. But yeah, that's pretty obvious. So we have a little bit of lag going on. I don't know why. Seems to be it's supposed to run pretty smoothly with these graphics. I don't have the graphics set to ultra high, but yeah, you know that by now. So yeah, the Queen's being produced over here, and it's just a matter of building up the standard units. What do we have in production? Currently a lot of buildings in production. One SCV and 3 buildings. And on the other hand we have a hatchery coming up. I don't know where that hatchery is coming up. Oh, over here, of course. Some drones, and yeah, no offensive units coming out yet, so that is no speed also. So both of them playing for a very economical game. There is a the Overlord did spot this time. Can we see how much he saw? Hang on. So yeah, he scouted that there is one thing here, and he scouted the expansion, but that's about it. That's not about it, that is it. And we are going back to the everyone vision. So 2 extractors coming up. So 2 times the gas. He already had 2, so that's going to be a lot of gas. And he will transition into something that actually requires gas in a moment, I'm sure. So going for an evolution chamber. Actually 2 evolution chambers coming up. And the Terran player will just go and expand once again. So going for his 3rd base, where the Zerg is only at 2 bases. That is going to be, well, very good for him and very not so good for the Zerg player, because the Zerg player needs to stay ahead of anything the Terran player does. And what are these queens doing over here? So the queens, apparently used for creep spread instead of for their normal task of injecting larvae, but he has 4 queens. That explains a whole lot. So the production tab being quite large for the Terran player, and the Zerg player also going for his upgrades early on, even before he has any units on the map. That is pretty pretty cool actually. So his units that are coming out will be more effective by the time they get out, and he can afford this because he doesn't have units on the map. But both of them trying to macro up, trying to do as much as possible with their current production capabilities. And he is going to produce some marines as well as tanks. So it's going to be a marine tank combination here. And I did not see whether these got any kills. It seems they didn't. So they ran into something, and I'm sorry I missed that, but yeah, well, relatively new at this. Well, actually very new at this, not just relatively. And I will learn to to see these things coming a little bit better once I've done a couple more of these commentaries. And the command center is going to land. Oh yeah, he blocks that with a Zergling. Obviously it would have been better to just let that land first, but yeah, well, the army is going to obviously come in to clean that Zergling and clean the landing spot. But he might have been able to do some damage with his Zerglings, but I guess he didn't know where the army was, so he wanted to play safe. And yeah, this way it was pretty safe, and he was going to just kill that one Zergling, or sacrifice that one Zergling for the delay on the command center. Starport coming up with, of course, the reactor to produce extra medevacs, and the medevacs are going to heal up the marines, and all in all that is going to be a really good combination. These few Hellions are going to be used for some harass when he gets the chance, but yeah, with the creep spread as it is currently, so the 2 creep tumors every time is because it is easier to or it's faster to spread the creep that way. The more tumors you have, the faster the creep will spread, and yeah, that way you just get more creep spread done in the same amount of time. So some Mutalisks out, and let's switch to the Mutalist tab, the unit tab. 11 Mutalisks out for 33 Marines. The Marines will probably take that depending on what is upgraded on them. But yeah, the Mutalisks just shouldn't get caught, and that is of course a very important skill for Mutalisks, to not get caught. So picks off one of the Hellions here, and the Hellions are going to just run into the base, try to scout a little bit and get some damage done, but it's not going to work. They're going to be taken out instantly, and obviously they can't do anything about the Mutalisks. The Zerglings, that's another story, but yeah, they were too quick, and there was no way he was going to get that. So we have all of the Mutalisks here, and they're going to attempt to break this base. Going to snipe a reactor there from the starport, and that's a huge deal. Getting the 2 reactors that are there as well, and that will harm, well, every production in this base, and especially this this starport is kind of crippled by now. So the Mutalisks, yeah, they're going to take some damage from the Marines, but there aren't a whole lot of Marines here, so I have to feel that this counterattack that actually came in at the same moment is, well, we'll have to do a whole lot of damage in order to make up for the lost production facilities, because it is still, well, going both ways. Wow. One base lost, but the Zerg doesn't really care about his base as much as the Terran does. Because with the Zerg it's all about the number of larvae you have, not so much about the number of hatcheries you have. The Terran, on the other hand, needs his production facilities, otherwise he can't produce anything. And while all of the reactors getting sniped, he has nothing to deal with these guys. And finally a Thor comes out, and the Thor is going to do pretty well against the Mutalisks, but not on its own and not without being repaired. No SCVs coming out to repair it, and yeah, this is pretty much over on this side. So I don't know where the rest of the army went, whether it got taken out or not, but it probably got taken out, because as I said, the Zerg really doesn't care about that one base you take out. So they will just defend at the second base, and only the Mutalisks were used to do this harassment. Well, actually killing off the whole base is not exactly harassment anymore. But yeah, only the Mutalisks were used for that, and a huge number of banelings coming in here. Let us see how many those are. That's this is a better tab. 30 banelings coming in, and that's a huge amount. He's going to do pretty well with them. Yeah, the Mutalisks are going to pick off these medevacs, because they have nothing to do there. There's nothing to heal. That's why I'm assuming that the rest of the army also got killed. So one Thor out, but it's not going to do very well against the banelings and Zerglings. 22 Marines, yeah, they are going to do very badly against these troops. And wow, both of the command centers lifted up, and he's going to lose all of this to a couple of banelings. So yeah, the banelings running away from the Marines, even though they could engage, but it is difficult to land good shots if if the Terran player is actually paying attention. And he is going to attempt again to come in here, and a huge amount of stuff dying to the tank fire. Those were probably all of the Zerglings. Yeah, a small group of Zerglings left, and a few banelings left, but it is not going to be the devastating blow it could have been. And somewhere here, I don't see it. Oh, it's over here. Never mind. The sensor tower, you can see the range on the map. It allows him to see whether the army is coming in over here or over here, and that is a very useful skill to have, or well, utility to have, because all of these units are going to be in the middle of both bases until he sees that it's going one way or the other. So the workers tab, then, a unit killed really doesn't matter too much, because the Zerg units are really a lot, well, pricier, no, the other way around, a lot cheaper than the Terran units, so this doesn't really say a whole lot. Workers, on the other hand, does say a lot. So the red player here destroying a lot of the workers on the enemy team, and a lot of infesting going on, the fungal growth going over everything, and he's going to just put some infested Terrans with the Thor to make sure that, well, the infestors can get out just, well, on their own without any backup. More army coming in, but I have to feel that, yeah, this Terran army is in some trouble now. Yeah, the Infestor's not really doing too well against the tanks and the Thor, but they are magnificent against the Marines and the Medevacs. But the combination of them is going to be what causes the Zerg a little bit of problems here. And yeah, the oh man, fungal growth going down there, and the Banelings are coming in. The Banelings are going to do very well against the tanks and the Marines, obviously. The Thor has been taken out, I think. Oh no, there's still a Thor here. And the Thor is actually really low health. So it's almost done, but even if you have 1 HP left, or 2 in this case, it doesn't matter. You're still going to do full damage, and you're still going to be able to, well, to help out your army. And once again, this base goes down. On the other side, more and more creep tumors are being picked off, but that really doesn't matter. The creep tumors are normally free, or almost free. They require a little bit of attention, I guess, to spread. And yeah, of course, he wants to have the creep spread as much as possible, but yeah, still, even if the creep spread is isn't perfect, he is going to be able to defend all around his base here, because on the creep it's pretty easy to defend for these guys. So yeah, it's the first big attack, well, kind of done, and that means that everyone is regrouping again. A new army has been macroed up, and it seems that the Zerglings were just there to scout a little bit. So an Overlord here trying to hold this base, or well, make sure that nobody builds there. But the Terran has 4 bases, well, 3 mining bases, I guess. Oh, this one's mined out as well. So 2 mining bases then. And this one isn't even a full base. There are only what's this? 6 mineral patches, and that is not a full base. Yeah, he's going to have to capture this one as soon as he can. Or this one, but this one seems to be harder to defend because, well, all of this part you have to walk all across here before you're in your normal base. So this one would be way better. And obviously these Marines should be attacking this dude. But yeah, well, for the moment they're not. They're chilling. And there go the Ultralisk, sorry. The Ultralisk getting damaged a little bit by the tanks, and yeah, he has 5 tanks out here. No, hang on, he has 8 tanks out here, and those 8 tanks are going to do very well against the Mutalisks, or 10 tanks now. They're going to do very well against the Mutalisks, but he sees that, or he understands that the Zerg player will be coming in from the other side, and obviously with these tanks over here, he can defend both sides pretty easily. Because you have to get into this ramp to get to the bases, and he's defending in front of that, so should be okay. New hatchery coming up, and that is base number 5 here, but here also 2 bases mined out, so 1, 2, and this is going to be number 3 that are actually mining. This one got taken out. The new command center is either in production or it's floating over. It is indeed floating over. And we are going to see if this hatchery gets cancelled in time. I don't know. I don't know. Normally it says cancelled, so I don't think it got cancelled. So the Nidus network getting taken out, and yeah, the base here is also doomed. That means that there's only 1 mining base left, and the Terran player knows where it is. He is going to... he's not going to go for the mining base? Okay. So the Zerg player in the meantime is marching up there and trying to take out the mining bases of the Zerg, of the Terran, sorry. And we are just seeing another base here go down, and I think this will become a lost battle for the Zerg, because he can't attack the air units, and the Terran can just float his buildings away and just make sure that well, just make sure that they're not going to get picked off. So the Terran dropping more and more in here, and the army is just too big. Nothing is going to live here, everything is going to die. And yeah, all of these buildings can be floated away, so even if he defeats the entire army, it's going to be super hard to defeat that. But Terran player, the Terran player wins, the Zerg player giving up, GGing out of this game. So a really nice push here by the Terran player at the same moment that the Zerg player was kind of posting in front of his base, but realizing that he had the upper hand, he had the bigger army. Let's see, can we see army value? Yes, we can. And resources, that would actually be, no, the invested resources, spending, that's it. So the Zerg player did invest more in the army, but less in technology. Actually, only about half in technology. And yeah, overall, just came up short because he couldn't kill the buildings. And yeah, nice match. Or nice game. Anyway, I'll see you for the next one, because this is at best of 3. So I'll see you there.